Hi, my name's Tim O'Neill, Kuriyama Marketing Manager. I have with me today Caleb Tillotson, our metal hose product specialist. Caleb comes to us today from Hose Technology in Williamsport, Indiana. Hose Technology is our metal hose division where they manufacture a wide range of interlock and corrugated metal hose for a variety of applications. Caleb's here today to tell us a little bit about Hose Technology, their capabilities, and the different types of metal hose and what differentiate them. So Caleb, can you tell us a little bit about the main types of metal hose?
Yeah, we are a little more specialized at Hose Technology. Unlike a lot of the Kuriyama product groups where they might have 1,000 different products for 1,000 different applications, we are a little more specialized where we have a few different products for 1,000 different applications. The main product groups that we deal with are interlock metal hose and corrugated metal hose. These products are vastly different and they are defined by their characteristics and their applications. I want to start today by talking about interlock metal hose because that is sort of our bread and butter at Hose Tech. The main uses of interlock metal hose are for mainly dry bulk pneumatics, fume exhaustion, so that could be rail car unloading, truck unloading, or grain vac are the main applications for interlock metal hose. Interlock metal hose gets its name because it is made by either one or two strips of interlocking stainless steel or galvanized, and it comes in two different types. So we're going to start off with the rough bore, which would be the Hose Technology 4000 series. It comes in lightweight, medium weight, heavy duty, and extra heavy duty, depending on the application and the abrasion resistance that we're looking for.
So that has to do with the strip thickness, correct?
Yes, sir. Yep. So the 1-inch strip that we use to make this hose, it can come in either 010, 015, 020, or 025 thickness. And the differences, they don't seem like a lot when you write it down on paper, but the difference in weight per foot, flexibility makes all the difference, and that's something that at the factory we work hand in hand with our distributors and our end users to make sure that the benefits of flexibility and the benefits of durability outweigh what you might lose in flexibility or what you're going to gain in weight.
Okay, so rough bore, given that name because it does have little gaps in here, it is very durable, obviously, metal hose. Yep. It's a little more flexible than maybe the dual-lined one because it just has the single strip. Like you said, two versions, stainless and galvanized?
Yes, sir. Yep. Mm-hmm. And the interlock, another application for the rough bore hose would be our floppy guard. So outside of the dry bulk pneumatics and the fume exhaustion, we also have a single strip interlock product that is what we call floppy guard. That is mainly used for conduit for electrical products. It is also the armor guard for our hydraulic hoses, so a BOP cover that would help with blowout protection. So this one strip product that we make at Hose Tech can be used for all types of applications, from something as simple as conduit to something as intricate as moving plastic pellets.
Okay. So you mentioned there was a second type, the smooth bore interlock?
Yeah, so where rough bore hose, our 4000 series, is made with a single strip, the 5000 series, our smooth bore, is the exact same product, only at the very end of the manufacturing, the production phase, we introduce a second strip of metal. The purpose of this second strip is to lay inside the convolutions, the interior convolutions of the hose, and what that does is it protects the interior of the hose from product damage, it protects from cross-contamination. You're going to use that liner to protect materials getting caught inside those convolutions, which will extend the life of the hose, but it's also going to keep the product you're transferring whole. We want to avoid angel herring, which can contaminate batches inside a facility, or we want to make sure that corn kernels, for example, are remaining intact going to the final destination.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so a second strip is added. This gives you more of a smooth liner, so it's kind of a directional flow. You want it going a certain way. As you can see, we have the arrows printed on our metal hoses showing which way.
Yeah, if you look at the profile of a metal hose, what I kind of liken it to is a razor blade. So if you're moving with the grain, it is a smooth transition from strip to strip. Going against the grain is where you're going to get chiving of the metal hose, and that is why we make it absolutely imperative that we put the directional arrows on these hoses, because you would have an immediate failure if you ran this hose backwards.
Okay. So extra strip, naturally, it's going to be a little heavier.
Yes.
It's going to be a little less flexible, but you're going to get longer life out of it. It's going to protect your product. It's going to protect against cross-contamination, for example, like if you're transferring red plastic pellets, and you have things that potentially could get caught in the corrugations, and then you transfer blue, you can get contamination like that. But if you're transferring the same material all the time, and you don't need high abrasion resistance, the single strip rough bore is fine. More abrasive materials, you can't have any cross-contamination. You have to upgrade to the heavier duty, smooth bore product. And I believe there are different names for the outside and inside layers.
So if you look at the rough bore hose, that first single strip is what we would call the armor of the hose. So when you move to the smooth bore, you've still got that same profile of the rough bore, that being the armor with the black marker. The blue is the liner that we introduced at the end of the manufacturing process. That would be the liner that is referenced in our catalogs, and those can be made to different strip thicknesses depending on what the application is. The same as rough bore, we've got a lightweight, a medium weight, and a heavyweight, and that is again all determined by how much abrasion resistance the customer needs, how much weight they want to give up for that extra durability.
Okay, so then this is our 5000 series. I see we have 3 different types. We have the HoseTech SS, that refers to stainless armor and stainless liner.
Yep.
GS, that's galvanized armor and stainless liner. And then GG, galvanized and then galvanized.
Absolutely, yep.
And then the difference there would be corrosion resistance?
Yes, so the stainless steel obviously is more corrosion resistance than the galvanized steel. If we're dealing with someone that's using a rail car and loading and this is going to be out in the elements, we obviously want to make sure that they're aware that the galvanized strip is going to be more conducive to rusting and corrosion, and if that's an important thing to avoid, then we would always point them in the direction of stainless steel. And as just a sort of aside as we're talking about this, that the smooth bore is something that we recommend for dry bulk pneumatics simply because we know it does a better job of protecting the product, which is the most important thing for end users and distributors. And it's also going to give the hose a longer life. But we also have customers that decide to use the rough bore for dry bulk pneumatic. So it's really a situation where the customer needs to decide, is the offset of extra weight and less flexibility worth that durability? So that's something that there's no wrong answer, and that's why we always welcome people to call the factory directly, whether it's the distributor working with the end user or vice versa, so we can make sure that we always quote them the correct product for what they're looking for.
Okay, yeah, like with any type of hose products, trade-offs, depending on what features you're looking for. Okay, so single strip, lighter weight, double strip, more durable, more abrasion resistant, protects the material, no angel herring, more durability in the hose, because it has the protective liner. Now, neither of these are completely airtight, though.
Correct.
Can you tell us a little bit about packing?
Yeah, so packing is something that, again, we introduced at the very end of the production cycle, and it is just a strand of, we have 3 different types. We have a cotton thread, we have a silicone papyrus, and we've got a more durable rubber thread. The difference into those is temperature rating, so what is the application running at for ambient temperature, and what the vacuum pressure is needed. So obviously the cotton is going to provide the lesser of temperature and the less vacuum. A rubber or silicone papyrus packing is going to provide a more vacuum, seal tight, and a higher temperature rating.
Okay.
And it's also giving up, again, along with this liner, as we were saying, it's the value of the durability you're gaining also comes at the expense of flexibility. So you're going to have bigger bend radiuses. It's going to become more weight, and it's up to the distributor, I guess, to determine are those deficits worth the benefits that you're gaining.
Just like anything else, you have trade-offs and advantages and features and benefits.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Now, let's say I want to have some metal hose on my floor, but I don't weld, but I want to be able to make assemblies, or I need an assembly from you and I don't have time to wait for welding. What are my options?
Absolutely. Yeah, so we cut that quite a lot. Kuriyama right now, they offer catalog cut lengths. So bulk 25 footers that sit in our warehouse. The convenience of getting a prefabbed assembly is paramount, and what also comes with that is a reduced lead time. So to combat both of those and provide value to our customer, we started the Hose to Go program. And what we are doing is we are stocking pre-made, pre-welded assemblies at any one of our Kuriyama warehouses, and we went through to our distribution base and we asked our distributors, what are some diameter and lengths that we can stock in our facility that are going to be items that you use most? And what we decided to do then is we took all that information And we started stocking pre-welded assemblies that have got male pipe thread welded on each end. So we just take just a male toe, we counterbore it, slide it over the metal hose with an ID weld, and we stock these at our warehouses with a toe on each end.
Okay, so the toe is a NPT on one end and a counterbore on the other that's designed to fit over the outside of the metal hose.
And that creates a smooth transition from hose to fitting, from hose to toe to fitting, and we do that on each end. So you're going to have a hose that is prefabbed at whatever desired length that you order. And the benefits that that's going to give you is, for one, you don't have any lead time for fabrication. So if you need this hose in 2 days, it's stocked at a Kuriyama warehouse, they're going to ship it and get it to you in time. Mm-hmm. Another benefit is that this hose comes with these male pipe threads on each end. You have the access to the entire Kuriyama catalog of fittings. So male cam locks, female cam locks, swivel, non-swivel. All you have to do is take this hose, choose whatever Kuriyama fitting you want, and these will thread right on the end of it. A lot of value that this brings is that as a customer, as a distributor, you don't necessarily need to know what the direction of flow is. So this way you can thread on the cam lock onto the inlet, the outlet, whatever you need. You can switch it up as you go along. If you get different configurations of rail car, of truck, that can always be changing, and you don't have to buy a new hose every time.
So it's customizable, also field repairable. If my fitting breaks, I can just screw another one on in the field.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great. That's very convenient.
And it's something that we definitely encourage any distributors and any salesperson, end user. This is a very liquid list. So we encourage people, if there's anything on this list that you don't use currently, but if there's something, hey, if you put that in the catalog, we can sell it, please let us know. We can add part numbers all the time, and we're going to do everything we can to stock what the customer needs.
Great. So the HoseTech Metal Hose to Go program, pre-assembled lengths with the toes fittings. Then I just choose my NPT fitting with whatever other end I need, my male or female cam lock, whatever that might be, and screw it on.
And that comes for the rough bore and the smooth bore, so the directional flow and the non-directional.
Wonderful. Well, I think that about sums up interlock for us. Can you tell us about corrugated metal hose?
Yeah, so corrugated then is the opposite side of the spectrum, where interlock is not airtight. It's meant for dry bulk transfer. Corrugated is meant for something that needs to be a completely leak-proof vessel that can hold pressure, that's going to transfer liquids or gas, anything that could be harmful to employees or the environment. Mm-hmm. So those are liquid gas transfer hoses, high pressures up to 3,000 psi for some of our product lines, and it is a annular or helical, so it's basically a one solid piece of tube that is formed to give it the flexibility with those convolutions. Mm-hmm. And then we put the stainless steel braid over top that acts as a blowout protector, as well as an exterior protector for anything that's any exterior force, such as maybe a metal slag at a steel factory that could damage the hose and compromise the pressure holding benefits. The braid is going to act as a protector.
Okay. So especially if you have two braids and you see the damage to the hose before the integrity of the hose is damaged.
Correct.
Comes in annular and helical. Annular, you have separated corrugations. Helical, they run together, which is better for draining, a little more flexible. But annular is more preferred just because of the cost.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. Can you tell us a little bit about the custom fabrication?
So we are a custom fab shop at HoseTech. We have 6 ASME 9 certified welders. And as I was saying earlier, any assembly, whether it's for corrugated or interlock, we have the entire Kuriyama fittings catalog at our disposal. So there is very rarely ever a case that an application comes through or a request comes through that we can't get the necessary fittings directly from our parent company. And that provides a lot of value to us, that we can quickly source fittings so the customer is not waiting. And it also provides a lot of value to the customer, that they know that the hose that's out in the field, it is backed by Kuriyama. With the hose, with the fittings, it's got the Kuriyama value all the way through.
Everything's coming from the same place.
Absolutely, yeah.
Great.
We've got some other different types of fabrication that I'd run through you real quick. Yeah. We got a more specialty product here. So while we do some more basic gas connectors, and we also have some more specialty pump connector assemblies that we do. This is just one example. A customer has a chemical pumping truck, and they were having issues where the tube was breaking in the middle. So what we did is we asked them to send the fittings, and we created a jig that way they can continually move their chemicals, and the corrugated hose allows for a little flexibility. So as that chassis and the truck's flexing going down the highway, they can continue to know that when they get to their destination, they can pump their chemical, whatever they're pumping, because of the flexibility that we were able to provide them. So it was a great example, along with this one, of building solutions for end users. You come to us with a problem, we're going to get together with our development team, with our engineering team, to develop whatever solution it is.
That seems like it's been our trend lately. We've been moving more and more towards customizable solutions.
Absolutely.
And expanding those procedures than the off-the-shelf stuff.
Absolutely. And quite honestly, for us, that's the fun stuff, is getting together with the team, developing a solution, and then seeing it succeed out in the field. It's something maybe that hadn't been done before, but we tested it. We thought that it was going to work. You get a success story, and all of a sudden you've opened up new opportunities for everybody, not just us.
Absolutely.
Here's another one that we did not too long ago that we've done a handful of times. We had a customer that was unloading PET off a rail car onto a truck, and they requested that we provide them with a full flow inlet. Now, normally you would get a full flow on sort of a Tiger Flex hose or a rubber hose. The metal hose, typically you have an interior weld that's going to present an obstruction for any product. So we got together with our team, and what we decided to do was we went and got a Kuriyama C400, which would be the barbed fittings, so the barbed female cam lock. We took it over to the lathe, and we lathed off the barbs so that it would fit inside a metal hose. We were then able to do an exterior weld, so there was no interior weld for obstruction. Took a Kuriyama crimp sleeve over the top to protect that weld, act as a bit of a bend restrictor, and then all of a sudden you've got yourself a full flow inlet fitting for a metal hose.
Oh, wow.
Which is something we hadn't seen before, and it's another, again, a perfect example of a customer coming to us with a strange request, something that we hadn't seen before, but we were able to take the whole Kuriyama value, everything, a bunch of different parts of the Kuriyama catalog to give them a solution. Never hesitate to call the factory with questions. We're always happy to help, whether it's salespeople, sales reps, end users, distributors, whoever it is. We're going to work as a team to make sure that we provide you with the solution that's best for your application.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for your time today, Caleb, and for teaching us a little bit more about metal hose.
Yeah.